This is Nigeria's first family healthy lifestyle and edutainment radio station, 107.3 Darling FM. Hello and welcome to the world news. I am Chidera, Rosecamille, Aneke. Here are the headlines. Minister of State and Education urges citizens to support federal government's special public works program. A fenifere accuses President Buhari's regime of protecting only Fulani interests in the country. World leaders welcome United States transfer of power. Details shortly. Minister of State and Education Chukwuemeka Nwajiuba has described the federal government's extended special public works program in Imo State as a significant step to win the war against mass unemployment in the country. Addressing journalists in Owerri, the state capital, he urged Imolites to continue to support and identify with the program.
Is given, a lot is expected. These works are public work in the end. People must then, we're inviting all citizens to be witnesses as to how these 1,000 persons, there is no way you can put 1,000 persons in any local government and that local government will not have an improvement in all its facilities. So we expect to see that almost rapid. That's what we expect. But even to complement that, we have set up coordinating committees within the state to see that this thing is properly done. And we have taken responsibility. Even as ministers, I came purposely to Imo State to ensure that this is done. And like I said in my speech, any local government I go, I will vehemently be reporting, and we expect that Nigerians will join us. It's not just government, is not those who occupy of government, is its people. We've now initiated this program, brought out the projects that are pursuant to this program. Programs themselves are in pursuant to a policy, and therefore we expect that Nigerians who voted us into power, for whom we are doing this thing, will now respond by ensuring that those who we have charged to do this thing are doing them properly.
Also, National Directorate of Employment Coordinator in Imo State, Mrs. Ngozi Ihanacho, said the selection was carefully done based on merit while urging participants to prove their worth.
We'll go to the local governments to work with the coordinator of this program and also with the chairman of the local government. Well, the likely challenge is one of them is that, some people, their expectation, especially some graduates that have looked for jobs for some time and eventually got enrolled in this. Maybe they are thinking that are they coming to clean gutters, that we are calling them to come and clean gutters, sweep places and all that, keeping places clean. So they are not psychologically ready for this. But I want to tell them and everybody that the key thing now is skills acquisition. The key thing now is do it yourself. The white collar jobs are not there again. Why doing this? By the special grace of God, most of them will find the vision of what they want to do in the future.
Governor Hope Uzodinma, who flagged off the federal government's program, thanked President Muhammadu Buhari for extending the special public works program to Imo State. Factional chairman of Ohaneze Ndibo Imo State chapter, Azuna Abelu, has decried the emergence of Obiozo as the new President General of Ohaneze Ndibo held at the Dan Anyam Stadium, Owerri. The factional state publicity secretary, Vali Igwebike, who made the condemnation, said the elections were faulty from the beginning, stressing that there were no local government chapter elections as provided in the constitution of the Apex Igbo Socio-Cultural Organization. He claimed that external forces used prominent Imo political leaders in Ohaneze Ndibo to foist leaders of the group on the people. Igwebike queried the legality of bringing the election venue to Owerri instead of Enugu, which had traditionally been slated as venue for the election. He faulted the setting of electoral committee by the President General, whereas it was the exclusive mandate of the Secretary General to do so. He insisted that everything was done to circumvent the electoral rules of the organization solely to scuttle the ambition of an Igbo man emerging the president of Nigeria in 2023. A Yoruba socio-cultural organization, Afenifere, has condemned President Muhammadu Buhari's position on the directive of Ondo State Governor Rotimi Akeredolu asking unregistered herdsmen to vacate the state government reserves within 7 days. The group, in a statement by its National Publicity Secretary, Yinka Odumakin, titled Ondo Forests, Fulani presidency again, said the regime had again shown its non-pretense as representing the Fulani's interest above other tribes in the country. Fenifere said how the federal government is marauding Fulanis in Ondo State against the lawful government did not come to Fenifere as a surprise, as it is in line with the non-pretense by this regime that it represents only Fulani interests against those of Yoruba, Igbo, Jonkon, Ijo and other tribes in Nigeria. The group wondered what the regime had done to give an assurance it could protect the lives of the people in the southwest. It also urged other governors in the southwest to emulate Akeredolu and free the land from Fulani who have surrounded the states with the shield of the federal government. Senior advocate of Nigeria, Ebun Olu Adeborua, has faulted the presidency's opposition to the vacation order given to herdsmen in Ondo State by Governor Rotimi Akeredolu. Report says Akeredolu had asked herdsmen to leave the state's forest reserve within 7 days. Apart from ejecting the herdsmen, Akeredolu also banned underage grazing and night grazing, movement of cattle within the cities and highways. But the presidency, in a statement by the senior special assistant to the president on media and publicity, Garba Shehu, said Akeredolu lacks the power to unilaterally sack herdsmen from Ondo Forest. Reacting in an interview with journalists, the senior advocate said the presidency misinterpreted sections of the constitution. He said he backed the governor 100% because the constitution in section 14.2, which makes the security and welfare of the people the primary essence of governance, while stressing that any governor that cannot guarantee the lives and properties of the people does not deserve to be in office. Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike has donated the sum of 500 million naira to Sokoto State government as support to rebuild the central state market that was destroyed by fire outbreak. Governor Wike in Sokoto to sympathize and commiserate with the governor and the government of Sokoto State over the unfortunate incident. 60% of the market was destroyed by the fire that started in parts of the market, and over 10,000 traders were affected. He described the incident as unfortunate and regrettable at this critical time in the country. He also visited the Sultan of Sokoto to condole with him over the death of his brother and former Sokoto State Commissioner for Home Affairs, Abubakar Jeli Abubakar. He says the people of Rivers and its government sympathized with the Sultanate Council and government of Sokoto State over the sad development. This is 107.3 Darling FM Owerri. If you are just joining us, you are listening to the World News. In the news, Minister of State and Education urges citizens to support federal government's Special Public Works program. Fenifere accuses President Buhari's regime of protecting only Fulani interests in the country. Still to come, world leaders welcome United States transfer of power. Still ahead is Business Report. Stay tuned.
Missed any of the developing stories during the week? Do you want to get up to speed with the news? Tune in to the People's Radio 107.3 Darling FM at noon every Saturday for the Week in Review. The Week in Review, reminding you of the week's stories today.
Thank you for staying with us here on 107.3 Darling FM. Now to the foreign scene. Several world leaders say they are looking forward to the transfer of power in the United States, where Democrat Joe Biden will be sworn in as president after 4 turbulent years under Donald Trump. President of the European Council Charles Michel voiced relief that a new founding pact for a stronger Europe, for a stronger America, and for a better world. President Hassan Rouhani of Iran did not miss the opportunity to hail the departure of Trump, with Tehran repeatedly calling on Washington to lift sanctions imposed over its nuclear drive. Biden's administration wants the United States back in the landmark Iran nuclear accord, which Trump withdrew from, conditional on Tehran's return to strict compliance. In Britain, Prime Minister Boris Johnson said he looks forward to working closely with Biden. In business, Nigerian Stock Exchange has disclosed that the federal government raised over 2.36 trillion naira from the capital market in 2020. Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerian Stock Exchange, Oscar Onyema stated this at the 2020 Markets Recap/2021 Outlook. He said the federal government issuances amounted to 92% of the total bond issuances in the market. He noted that corporates also leveraged the low-yield environment to fund expansion objectives and pursue debt refinancing, raising a total of 192 billion naira. Delivering his presentation, Onyema stated the year 2020 was indeed a historic one for global capital markets and facing buffeting headwinds. World markets saw sharp swings and steep losses, but largely remained resilient and orderly amid rising uncertainty. He said the Nigerian Stock Exchange will consolidate on the benefits of demutualizing in the coming year. And that's the world news as produced by Ezine Glory Alozie. You can reach our news desk for coverage and eyewitness report on 0818-732-5104 or send an email to darlingfmnews@gmail.com. You can also listen to Darling FM from anywhere in the world. Go to www.darlingfm.ng and click to listen. Stay safe. Don't forget to wash your hands with soap under running water and use a face mask if you must go out. I am Chidera, Rosecamille, and Aneke. News update is at 5 p.m. Good afternoon.